Good morning. Always nice to begin our day here on 3+U, knowing that you're sharing part of your day with us this morning. It's a beautiful day. We want to be in a good mood, but if you are watching this morning and you are among what seems like the millions of parents and grandparents out there who are a little bit concerned about the development of kids these days, worried about the computer and the phone and technology entering their lives, we're going to kind of kick it off with that a little bit. Dr. Troy White is on the show with us this morning. Good morning. Dr. Troy White Eyecare. So I'm kind of the guilty party of throwing you under the bus.
Okay.
But I think I'm right in doing it.
All right.
Because you are seeing as an optometry world now that younger and younger kids are developing problems specifically with nearsightedness, and there's data that connects it really to that technology. There
is. If you think about when we were back in school, elementary, do you remember how many kids had glasses?
I was one of the first.
Really?
I'll tell you the truth.
Oh.
I got mine in 5th grade.
Okay.
I was nearsighted, and my mom blamed it on color TV.
Really? Interesting. Well, when I was in school, there was one young girl in kindergarten that had glasses all the way till probably 5th, 6th grade. We maybe had 3 or 4 students that were nearsighted. By 2030, half of school-age kids will be nearsighted. So this is a big problem.
Is that school-aged, elementary school age, or K through 12 school
Elementary
age?
School, and really the general population, of course, is kids are more nearsighted at an earlier age, then that'll be nearsighted adults.
Well, and I asked the question about elementary only because so often what happens too is that parents don't know because their child doesn't report it to them, so there might even be a greater number that isn't diagnosed.
That is true. So it's very important for kids to have an eye exam. The American Optometric Association recommends an eye exam by age 1, and then if everything's normal by age 3, and then definitely by school. And I tell parents, even if a child has not had an eye exam, just get it where they are. It's super important for us to discover if they have nearsighted.
So with the nearsighted, what that means is that you have a difficult time seeing in the distance, correct?
In the distance, correct. And actually what's happening is in nearsighted, the eye gets too long, too fast, and it becomes too weak. So I brought a little prop here.
Okay.
So if you imagine a tennis ball, the eyeball, and if I were to push and to squeeze that, I would elongate or distort that tennis ball.
Do it again, can you?
So yeah, so if we push in, of course that's pretty hard to do because the tennis ball is pretty hard, but the eye is not. So I also have another prop here with the tennis ball cut in half. So if we squeeze that down, that's going to elongate this rubber. Now the rubber's really tough, but the inside of the eye, the retina, is a very delicate tissue. So as the eye becomes elongated and distorted, you can get cracks in the retina, you can get thinning in the retina. It could actually detach over time. Nearsighted can lead to early glaucoma, earlier cataracts, but we can slow it down. We've got a way to slow it down now.
Before we get into the slowing it down part then, this is far more impactful than just your child might need glasses.
Correct.
This is really the anatomy of the eye that's being compromised.
It is, exactly.
Okay.
And so when the eye elongates, for every diopter of nearsighted, the risk of these eye diseases increases 20 to 40% per diopter.
Okay. Okay, say that one more time.
Yeah, for every diopter, so if a child is -1 nearsighted and they go to -2, their risk of this maculopathy, retinal detachment, glaucoma increases 20 to 40% per diopter.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so talk about what the intervention is, then I'll pepper you with more questions.
Sure. Well, one of the things is we used to think it was genetic, but now we know it's really more lifestyle. So the problem is these cell phones right here. They're given to kids. Our normal reading distance is about 16 inches. But with phones, it's usually 13 inches. So you see kids all the time on these phones being entertained. Well, that's telling the eye, let's elongate so we don't have to work as hard to see up close. So the closer you hold it, the longer time you spend up close, and even not being outside. Being outside actually, there's a chemical that's released in the retina that helps slow that elongation of the eye.
So, I mean, I'm going to really jump into the fire on this one, but
Sure.
I bet there are a lot of parents out there who are yelling at the TV right now saying, tell that to my child's school.
Exactly.
Because they're there 8 hours a day.
Yes.
And more schools have ditched textbooks
right.
to have the iPads
Yes.
or the Chromebooks, and these kids are trapped.
It's one of the worst things that they can do for their eyes, and they're potentially being nearsighted.
So for the people who are going to say, well, now wait, and their child is at school, but it is not 13 inches, it is the requisite 16 inches. Over an 8-hour day, is that still an issue?
It's still an issue. The time in front of a device or up close, that plays a factor as well.
All right. You did not come here to stir the pot. You came here to offer a solution.
Yes.
You have a contact lens.
Yeah, so MySight contact lens by Cooper Vision is the first FDA approved nearsighted control lens. So it actually corrects the vision, the patient can see better, but it also slows the progression of nearsighted down. Now we have other ways of slowing it down, but not as effective and not FDA approved.
Is it only then as a contact lens? I mean, if you have a second grader, they have to wear
Yeah.
contacts?
So it is, but we do have other ways of slowing it down. So
Okay.
MySight's not the only way, it's just the most effective way.
Okay.
And it'll slow it down by almost 60%, 59% slow or reduction in the progression of nearsighted.
I remember when our second daughter was born, and how frustrated I was the first time, and I'll blame it on my husband, it could have been me, that he gave her sugar.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
right, because once you've tasted sugar,
Yeah.
the broccoli goes away.
Right.
Life is different. So for the people out there who are trying really hard to give their kids a childhood of old and not introduce
Yeah.
this stuff, this is a reason to say, please don't
Yeah.
give us one?
Yeah, put the phones down, get your eyes checked, examined, go outside. You know, kids need to be outside
How much a day would you say?
an hour and a half to 2 hours a day.
Okay.
That actually helps.
That
you
used
know.
to be nothing.
Used to be nothing. You know, I would be called home, you know, yelled out the backyard, Troy, come home, it's dinner. You
Right.
know, I'd be outside 3, sometimes 4 hours.
Right, and then
after
you wash
school.
your hands and go back
That's
out
right,
again.
yes.
So, okay, in terms of coming to you, you will
Yes.
see the whole family.
Yeah, we see kids down to age 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
You recommend an eye exam initially at 1
By
for sure,
1.
but if you're seeing something earlier, feel free
Yes,
to call.
yes.
You said it can have a genetic component, but it is more environmental. But again, the benefit of you seeing the whole family
Right,
is there.
exactly. Yes, yes.
Okay, put down your phone. You don't even have to Google the number because we're giving it to you. Dr. Troy White, 922-9293. Online, I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is drtroywhite.com. Go outside. It's a pretty day.
It's a beautiful day.
Put down those phones.
That's right.
The best shower remodel for the best price. Montgomery Showers is offering huge savings on our very popular shower systems with 0% interest for 18 months.